The Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier has had more than its fair share of problems during the development and construction phase.
But some retired Navy admirals who were there at the very beginning are confident the ship will be an excellent asset in the U.S. military arsenal. Reporter Mike Gooding has their story.
The Gerald R. Ford has most definitely had its share of growing pains. At $12.9 billion, it is coming in almost 2 years late and 23% over budget. Still, as the most sophisticated warship ever imagined, it took time to get it right, its supporters say. And they say that the Ford will help warfighters do what they need to do, which is to fight and win the wars of tomorrow.
This thing is going to be magic, and it's going to take them a while to figure out how best to use it.
Retired Rear Admiral Mike Gruthausen flew jets and commanded the USS Harry S. Truman. He's excited about this next-generation aircraft carrier, the Gerald R. Ford, and how it will be a game-changer in 21st century combat.
They're going to find ways to make this thing truly more efficient. There's talks of being able to generate, instead of the normal 160, possibly up to 240 sorties during a normal flying day. That is, in and of itself, is a great move forward in our mobile airport capability, strike capability that we bring to the Navy. So I'm very excited. Do we need it? Boy, yeah, we need it now.
However, the Ford arrives with some well-documented baggage, including its high price tag and later than hoped for delivery. Gruthausen blames lawmakers in Congress and a decade of continuing resolutions instead of proper long-term budgets.
It would be 10 times easier to build ships of this type if we had a 2-year budget or a 4-year budget. And quite frankly, that's what slowed Ford down a couple of times, was waiting for the next roll of the budget to keep the plans going.
And the whole thing came down to, well, we need to be able to generate more sorties. We need to be able to cut down on the number of folks aboard the ship because folks equals money.
Retired Vice Admiral John Mazak was there in the early 2000s when the key decisions were made on what the Ford was going to be. He served as Commander, Naval Air Force Atlantic.
At that time, we had a Secretary of Defense by the name of Don Rumsfeld. It was his second go-round as the Secretary of Defense, and he was pretty thorough and he was pretty focused on where it is he wanted to go. And he said, if you're going to design a new carrier, I want it to be transformational.
And so it was with the Ford, different than anything that came before, able to generate a third more sorties with 25% less people. President Trump was critical of the Ford's electromagnetic aircraft launch system, EMALS. He said it's no good and it would take Albert Einstein to figure it out. But Mazak has faith in the system.
EMALS has the ability to do what it is we need to do, and I think that's what's going to happen. And perhaps 20 or 30 years from now, somebody will have a discussion that says, boy, I'm glad those guys did that. At least I hope that's the discussion, because look at what we've done with it since then.
Mike Gooding, 13 News Now.